parents. What's the craziest thing your child has ever said? My 8-year-old nephew Cole has always been one of those kids who says weird stuff, like he'll randomly ask if trees feel pain when you cut them, or why adults pretend to like coffee when it tastes like dirt. Normal weird kid things, you know? But last summer at our family barbecue, he said something that made everyone's blood run cold. Uncle Ben was hosting at his house like he always does. Ben's been single forever, lives alone in this old house with a basement he converted into a home office. Super normal guy, coaches Little League, brings donuts to work, the whole deal. We never had any reason to think anything was off about him. Cole had been running around with his cousins all afternoon. Hot dogs, pool games, typical family stuff. Around 4 o'clock, he disappeared inside to use the bathroom. We figured he was just cooling off from the heat. He was gone for maybe 15 minutes. When he came back outside, he walked straight up to where all the adults were sitting and said it. Why does Uncle Ben keep his wife in the basement? Everyone just froze. Like, complete silence. Uncle Ben's face went white as a sheet. My sister Emma laughed first. That nervous kind of laugh you do when something's uncomfortable. Cole, Uncle Ben doesn't have a wife, remember? But Cole just shook his head real serious like. Yes, he does. I saw her through the window. She has long black hair and she waved at me. Uncle Ben tried to play it off. You probably saw a reflection or something, buddy. Maybe the TV was on downstairs. But Cole kept insisting. No, it was a real lady. She looked sad. She pressed her hand against the glass like this. He demonstrated, pressing his little palm flat against the patio door. All the adults exchanged those looks. You know the ones. Like when you're trying to figure out if a kid is making stuff up or if something's actually wrong. My sister Emma pulled Cole aside and asked him to show her exactly where he saw this woman. He walked her around to the side of the house where there's this tiny basement window that's barely above ground level. It's got bars on it because it's so low. Right there, Cole pointed. She was sitting on a bed. When she saw me, she got really excited and started waving. Emma looked through the window but couldn't see anything. It was too dark inside. That night, Cole drew a picture. A stick figure woman with long black hair behind bars. At the bottom, he wrote in his messy 8-year-old handwriting. She told me not to tell, but I think she needs help. Emma showed me the drawing and my stomach just dropped. Cole had never been in Ben's basement. Ever. We'd asked him to describe what he saw inside, and he mentioned details that were too specific. A purple blanket, a small table with books on it, a bucket in the corner. Emma called the police the next morning. She felt crazy doing it, but something about Cole's story just wouldn't leave her alone. The way he described the woman's face, how he kept saying she looked scared. When the cops showed up at Ben's house that afternoon, he tried to act normal. Invited them in for coffee, said of course they could look around. But when they asked about the basement, he got nervous, started stumbling over his words. They found her. Her name was Rachel. She'd been Ben's girlfriend 2 years ago before she just vanished. Everyone assumed she'd moved away or something. Turns out Ben had convinced her that her family didn't want her around anymore, that the world outside was dangerous, that he was the only one who cared about her. She'd been living in that basement for 18 months. Ben brought her food and told her it wasn't safe to leave. She believed him because she struggled with anxiety and depression. He made her dependent on him. But when she saw Cole through that window, something clicked. She realized how wrong everything was. A little kid shouldn't have to see her like that. Ben got arrested that same day. Rachel got the help she needed. Cole saved her life by being a kid who couldn't keep his mouth shut.